Greetings and welcome. It does indeed look like we are broadcasting. Apologize, couple little hiccups there. Greetings and welcome to SEM Mondays live. Gosh, please type a 7 in the chat if you can see me and hear me. I certainly hope you can. And I apologize. You know, we transitioned from doing these lives from Zoom to YouTube, and YouTube is like 10 times more complicated than doing them live on Zoom. We use Zoom all day, every day for our online workshops. So please, gosh, I hope we're good. I can't really tell. I got a 7. Thank you. So if you can see me and hear me, shoot some emojis, share some love. I have to laugh because not that long ago I wasn't very fond of emojis, and now I absolutely love them. So this is not only the place to be every week for all things source energy medicine, but today, SEM Mondays, weekly open Q&A show here on YouTube, just got even more awesome. I know it's probably hard for you to imagine, and I am being funny here on one hand, and yet on the other hand, there are some serious times that we're living in these days. Unprecedented levels of fear, greater threats, whether it's a coronavirus or pandemics or the wide variety of different flus that are going around. I want to offer an alternative to that. I want to offer a place where we can each come together in community, receive healing, and do something constructive, do something positive, do something to help to ensure each of our well-being and peace of mind. So, we have people who find source energy medicine every day, which is such a blessing. If this is your first time on SEM Mondays live, type a 1 into the chat or shoot a thumbs up, an emoji, something cool. And before I forget, just in case you don't know, my name is Stephen Pollitt, and I am the creator of Source Energy Medicine. Created it in 2004, and I have been sharing it since 2005. So one very cool positive part of doing this on YouTube is we're now archiving all of these on YouTube, so super easy to access them. So, and then you can watch the replays, which with this group energy healing session that we're going to experience at the after the Q&A today, there's definitely big advantage to being able to re-experience that energy work. Whether you're live or in replay, the effectiveness is the same, and certainly watching it more than once increases the effectiveness. So I don't know about how committed you are to your health and well-being, but for me, helping to keep so I still get a lot of emails and questions and comments about the coronavirus and pandemics. And a couple of weeks ago on SEM Mondays Live, I addressed it all. So if you have not seen that, when we're done here, go to the search bar on YouTube and type into the search bar Source Energy Medicine and pandemics and watch that clip, because Source Energy Medicine is a very, very different approach to health and well-being and dis-ease. So it's not like almost every other methodology under the sun that is just, designed to combat, to fight, to try and kill or nullify pathogens. Source Energy Medicine is very, very different, and the intention is to transform slow energy to fast energy, or low calibrated energy to high calibrated energy. And all pathogens, the coronavirus calibrates very, very low. So what determines whether you experience that or any of the other colds or flus that are going around is very specifically the calibration of the physical aspect of your being. And I don't want to get into that a whole lot further because it's redundant from just a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you check that out. So we'll have about 8 minutes or so of Q&A before doing the group session. The chat box is open for your questions, and it's also open for your healing requests. So just as YouTube will tell you, be sensitive about what you share in the chat box, right? It's a public chat box. There's lots of folks from all around the world here. So be sensitive of what you post, and please be respectful of each other. It's my only requirement, right, for you being here. So, and even if you're watching this in replay, even if it's 6 months from now, if you have a question, leave your question in the chat box, and I do my best to answer as many questions after the live as possible. So, so those of you who are here with me live, you're likely here live because you saw some of the emails that I have been sending or posts on other social platforms about this group energy healing session, and I've received a lot of questions about it. There is another video that I posted just the other day in preparation for this, where I explain the entire non-material aspect of source energy medicine in pretty good detail. It's a short video, but it gives you an idea of what so I apologize. So this energy work that we're about to do is an aspect of source energy medicine, and it's known as the non-material aspect of source energy medicine. Same technology as our charging label system, except it's infinitely faster and more flexible. Well, infinitely faster, I'm going to take that infinitely. It's a whole lot faster than our charging label system, in that the energy work we can accomplish in a single session what often can take 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 months to achieve with our charging label systems. So it's not infinitely faster, and yet it's a whole lot faster. So, yeah. And it truly is unlimited in terms of potential and possibility. Charging label system, I would say, is so from my perspective, there's nothing that's outside of the scope of potential or possibility, and yet within a non-material aspect, we have a lot more flexibility that we can't incorporate or we can't access with the charging label system. So, in an ideal world, everyone who's experiencing these group weekly energy healing sessions would also be exploring the charging labels and drinking all of the source energy medicines that are outlined in the sample protocol. So I hope that makes sense. And this is definitely not a replacement for medical care. It's not a diagnosis. It's not a guarantee. It's not a promise. It's not a prediction of what your outcome could be. So use common sense, take care of yourself, and yeah. So I'm going to just go through a lot of the questions that have come in about the energy work that we're going to be getting into, and while I'm not going to read any particular questions, I'm going to answer a whole groups of questions at the same time. So if you have questions, bear with me for questions specifically about the energy work. Bear with me for a few minutes. Let me get through this. And if you have other questions that are other than related to that, type them into the chat box, and I'll do my best to bounce back and forth between what you folks are typing into the chat box and asking versus the questions that I have that I think are essential before we segue into the energy healing session. So, yeah, so I mentioned, sometimes overrated or maybe underrated. Please use common sense. To receive this work, the energy healing, a minimum of distractions on your end is essential, right? It increases the potential of what you are experiencing. So, and for me, that means if I'm in a safe and comfortable place, if it's comfortable for me and it's safe for me to close my eyes, that certainly seems to increase the receptivity. So I hope this makes sense to you, and that if you're driving, don't close your eyes, right? If you're in a swimming pool or a hot tub, maybe not the best place to experience this session. Wait till you are in a place that is safe and appropriate for you to be able to sit or lie down and close your eyes. And if closing your eyes is uncomfortable, then simply find a spot to focus your attention upon and then soften your gaze. So yes, please use common sense. This work is not dramatic. It's not cathartic. It's not, because we're not stirring up pathogens. We're not stirring up childhood trauma. We're simply transforming energy levels, transforming energy patterns from low calibrating to high calibrating. And it's a massive gift in that there is no catharsis, there is no drama, there is no meltdown, there is no in dark night of the soul before I can actually see the light of day. So, part of it is, honoring the process. So if you're sitting in a busy cafe, or if you're driving, or if you're sitting in a hot tub, just schedule time later and check out the replay. Schedule time when you can sit or lie down comfortably. And again, if you feel comfortable and it's safe, close your eyes and simply allow yourself to receive. Now, within every aspect of source energy medicine, you are always healing yourself. A lot of people think it's the charging labels, or it's the water, or it's source energy medicine, or it's me. You are always healing yourself. And the aspect of you that is doing the healing is, to me, the divine aspect of you. It's right, that part of you that is source energy. So, and that is especially true with the non-material aspect of source energy medicine. And I want to highlight that, because it might look like I'm facilitating this, or I'm in the role of the quote-unquote healer, which I don't use that term, but a lot of people do. And in fact, you are in the role of the quote-unquote healer. You are healing yourself. And a lot of people want to know, well, what can I expect from this group energy healing session on YouTube? And it's a really, really, really good question. And here too, there's a video on YouTube where I talk all about expectations, and it essentially answers that question, right? What can I expect in terms of measurable results? And that is, of the hundreds of videos that I've produced over the last couple of years, that's one of my favorite videos. I think it's very, very empowering, and it's very eye-opening. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you watch that, because understanding what I explain in that video will actually help you to realize if you are limiting what's possible in any way, and then of course stop that, right? So that all of the blessings, all of the healing, all of the miracles can be openly and beautifully and gracefully received. So yeah, so this work is phenomenally fast. When we get to the group part, it'll probably be 5 minutes or so. I don't want to distract you from experiencing it, so I don't want you watching me. So I'm going to turn off my camera. There'll be a slide up on the on your screen, and I mute my mic so that there's no distractions, and I'll put on some chanting music, and it's Eternal Om by Dick Sutphen. I'll include a link to Dick's amazing track. I absolutely love it, and it has nothing to do with the non-material aspect of source energy medicine. It really doesn't have anything to do with source energy medicine. It's not part of the healing process. However, if you were to ask me if we have a soundtrack to source energy medicine, it would be Dick's beautiful Eternal Om. So that'll be playing just in case people join us late and they don't know what's going on. There'll be a title slide, and the Eternal Om will be chanting in the background, and just allow you to be able to relax and receive without being distracted by what I do to facilitate this process. So I mentioned you can type healing requests into the chat box. So I invite them now, and if you're not with me live, you could certainly leave it under the replay. And my strong encouragement is to, like each time you watch this, choose one healing intention or one healing request. There are, I don't know, like if I look back at my life before source energy medicine and you asked me to do that, it would be hard because I had so many different challenges, and yet there were certainly priorities for me. So pick the one And it doesn't, there's a teaching from A Course in Miracles that basically states there is no order of difficulty when it comes to miracles. So don't think of your challenges. My encouragement is that you don't think of your challenges in terms of big or small. They're all the same. They're all challenges, and it's all the same root causes that is the reason why you're experiencing those. So think of the one that you want to receive, and just allow that to happen. When you watch the replay, which I would really encourage you to do at least once a day, just to be help to support you, right? To help to ensure your the calibration of the physical aspect of your being very specifically remains high. So. And if you have no idea what that means, check out the clip. Just search for source energy medicine and pandemics. And you can actually also search for source energy medicine and calibrated energy level. And then you'll be able to understand that at a much, much, much deeper level, which I think is very, very empowering, because the reason why I had challenges, significant challenges before source energy medicine, was because the calibration of the physical aspect of my being. Two other main things, but those are the most. The subconscious mind is the other big player, and it's transforming the subconscious mind that takes care of all of the root causes, and then enables me to have a calibration of every aspect of my being calibrate high. So I hope that makes sense. And now, whether you type something into the chat, or you send an email, or you post something on YouTube or not, it doesn't affect the outcome, if you will. However, sharing something, putting it out to the universe, especially sharing it in a community where no one, so my experience so far within our community is no one's going to talk me out of the miracle that I am requesting. And if anything, it will be like having, cheerleaders rooting me on, cheering me on, supporting me. So, so if you're not comfortable typing it into the chat box, it's not going to affect the outcome. And keep in mind, there might be challenges that you don't even know about. So without that conscious awareness, it doesn't limit the scope of this work. When I begin this session, what we're going to be doing is your higher self to my higher self. Much greater expansion of awareness, much greater expansion of our consciousness. And from that place, higher self to higher self, there's no physical matter, and there's no limitation. There's no time. There's no space. So, I think that covers everything that I wanted to make sure that I covered before we jump into it. So yeah, actually, I do one. Just a logistic, before we get into the energy healing session, and I'm going to pause and read through the chat, because I can't read the chat and talk to you at the same time. I know it's limited, and perhaps I'm showing my age, but it's certainly a challenge for me. But one thing, I don't want you to miss an episode of SEM Mondays. So if this is important to you, if this is a priority for you, when you're on YouTube, click on that bell icon. If you click on that bell icon, you'll receive a notification when I go live or when I upload a new video. And I only share that because I didn't know that before starting a YouTube channel. I'd subscribe to channels, which definitely it helps me to be able to stay in touch with you, but it doesn't really actually do that much for either of us. Clicking that bell icon is the best thing that you can do. That way you get a notification when I'm going live, and you don't have to worry about keeping up with emails and things like that. So yeah, so I'm just going to pause here real quick and see what is happening in the chat box. And got a whole bunch of friends here. It's awesome. Del and Stephanie and Miri and Josh, Carmen, Celine. Excited to be here today. It's awesome to have you. Franco and Marina. Ms. Rick, blessed to be here. Awesome to have you. And Trish and Yasmin, it's awesome. Yasmin is our source energy medicine, actually non-material source energy medicine person who is joining us from Israel. How cool is that? And Joanne shares, checked my email at 11:11 a.m., so the timing is perfect. That is so awesome. I love that synchronicity. So truly, truly, truly cool. So way too many people to say hello to all of you. Yeah, Nancy asked, do I have source energy medicine for coronavirus protection? I hope you were on when I spoke about that. When we're done here, search in YouTube, source energy medicine, pandemics, because I talk about more than just the coronavirus, and check that out. Yeah, cool. So now here's another cool thing. Like, I don't have to read your requests, right? I don't have to consciously know them again, because we're working my higher self to your higher self, where we're much greater expansion. However, speaking it right to the universe, speaking it within our community, I think is very empowering, right? And it sets a clear intention for what you would like to receive in terms of an outcome. So yeah. So I don't see any other questions, just a whole lot of, I so appreciate your love and your support and your emojis and your comments. And when we're done, I'll go back, read through it, and reply to as many of them as possible. But it's really awesome to have a really good group of beautiful, beautiful souls joining me here today to receive these gifts, to receive these blessings. You know, I firmly believe that true health, true well-being, true vitality, true sufficiency, really, in every aspect of life is our birthright. And, Joel Goldsmith said that humanhood is something separate and apart from God, or it would not be in so much trouble. And I really see source energy medicine as helping to heal that separation, helping to dissolve the illusion of the separation of me being separate from you and everyone. And the most challenging is being separate from source. So once I transform my subconscious mind, then all of those things that before were, beautiful philosophic notions help. I then have the ability to be able to step into them more fully, more powerfully, and be able to experience higher levels of consciousness, be able to have a different relationship with the source of all creation than I was before. So I don't see... Nancy asks, can I explain what ELP stands for? So ELP is energy level progression. So you'll notice if you look at the charging labels, there's not only the initials or the abbreviation, but the name is on the charging labels. And about half of my book, maybe not quite half, a large section of my book, Heal Thyself, is all reference. So if you have any questions about what a particular source energy medicine is, that's a really, really great source. There's also the Source Energy Medicine People's Desk reference. That is just a list of every source energy medicine that we have, and it shows what's in fusion and what's not in fusion, and they're all listed numerically. So, in case you're joining us late, we're about to segue into doing the energy healing part of this offering here today. And I'm going to switch my camera off so it's not distracting to you. There'll be a title slide up on the screen. Eternal Om, God willing, we'll be chanting in the background. And I don't speak when I do this work. And, on your end, just allow, which might seem easy, and yet it's for a lot of you. I know for me, allowing, receiving, has been something that I've actually done a lot of work on the last probably 20 years or so. So just allow, just receive, and as much as possible, see the blessing that you are requesting, see your healing request as if it has already been received, right? See it from the end, see it from the place of knowing that it is, if it's not fully manifest, it's well on its way to you. And, there's no getting this wrong. So I am going to begin the process of starting the session. I invite you to take a nice deep breath. And allow yourself to receive. I invite you to take a nice deep breath and breathe into the knowing that you are indeed whole and perfect and complete. Know that you are the greatness that you were created to be. Know that you are a holy, innocent child of God, or the source of all creation. Use any words that are appropriate and feel right and make sense to you. Breathe into the knowing that you are whole and perfect and complete. And simply allow the blessings, allow the gifts, allow the miracles. Miracles are your birthright. take a nice deep breath. Continue to allow, continue to receive, and know that even though this work is very, very, very short in terms of linear time, that the blessings, that the miracles will continue. All you have to do is continue to allow, continue to receive. And if your eyes are closed, I invite you to blink them open and come back to this time, space, reality here and now with me live on YouTube, or if you're watching this in replay. So I've been so excited about this. I've felt like since the inspiration came to do this, I have felt like a 7-year-old, like a week before Christmas, and Christmas couldn't get here soon enough. So, and now to have the experience for it to become quote unquote reality, to be able to share this blessing with you, these blessings with you, these gifts with you. It does feel like Christmas Day. It does feel like, for me, like I just received the most magnificent Christmas gift, and it wasn't even on my list. So, and I feel that way because of the way it felt like the work was being received on your end. And you could be watching this a year from now and just have learned about it, and yet it's all the same, right? Time and space are illusions. So in a sense, everyone who's ever going to experience this little mini group session already has, right? It's just a matter of catching up with that awareness. So I would love to see some comments in the chat box before I skedaddle and run. Between now and next week, I really encourage you to, like, if this felt good, I encourage you to watch it once or more than once a day. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to just help me to stay grounded, help me to stay in a place of peace and well-being, knowing, a place of just knowing that I'm always in the right place at the right time, and everything is always working out for me. So, I've some of our people who are inside of our online workshops, especially the non-material aspect of source energy medicine. We have some practitioners who are doing energy healing sessions with themselves a couple of times a day to help to keep their energy levels high. So there's definitely no downside to revisiting, repeating. And there definitely is, I think, unlimited potential on the upside. So, Nancy says, I felt its power. Wow, thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for receiving it. And she asks if this is the first one. This is indeed the first Monday that we're including this. Yasmin says, thank you so much, Stephen. I also felt power. For me, it was my emotion chakra. Many blessings to everyone. Thank you for sharing that, Yasmin. And I miss you. Yasmin came to our workshops in Toronto, and she studied the non-material work and haven't really been in touch since she moved back to Israel. So it's awesome to have you with us. Joanne shares gentle and kind. Nancy shares, for me, the pressure in my breast and chest area that I had for many months is way better now after this healing. Thank you, Nancy, for sharing that, and bless you for receiving this work so deeply and so profoundly, and know that the blessings are continuing to unfold for you. Literally, with each breath that you take, this work will go deeper and deeper and continue to manifest, continue to unfold. Del shares, thank you, Stephen. Great session and looking forward to more. Thank you, Del. I appreciate that. Josh says, so peaceful as it should be. Thank you, Josh. Beautiful blue heart. I love that. Yasmin says, she misses me so much. She's, let's connect somehow on Zoom or something. And she's moving back soon. That's awesome. To Toronto, I imagine. So I do indeed have an appointment that I have to scram to, which is really challenging for me because I would love to stay here with you all day. So God willing, next week I'll be back here same time, 1:11 p.m. on the East Coast, 11:11 a.m. Mountain Time, and 10:10 a.m. for Pacific Coast. And 7:11 if you're in Israel, whatever time zone that is, which is kind of funny. Thank you for sharing that. But I love that East Coast is, of course, 10:11, but I'll pretend it's 10:10, and at least we hit the three major time zones with repetitive numbers, which I think are just a sign of the synchronicity, a sign that miracles surround us. So one last thing I'll leave you with is a teaching from A Course in Miracles that basically states that miracles are our birthright. And miracles I should experience all day, every day. And if I am not, I am blocking those miracles. It's not that I'm unworthy. It's not that I don't deserve. It's not that I'm good enough. It's not that I didn't say the right petitions to Source. It's just a matter of I am blocking them. And another and separate teaching, also from A Course in Miracles, is that our role is not to seek love, but to seek everything that would prevent me from fully experiencing love, from fully receiving love and fully extending love. So wherever I'm withholding love, show me that so I can stop that and start extending love unconditionally, and fully allow and receive love. And, according to A Course in Miracles, God is love, and I am in an idea in the mind of God, therefore I am loving thought, which is what you are as well. So, couple of last shares I just want to speak before I jump off. Trish says, thank you, great session, brain feeling better. Stephanie says, thank you very much, Stephen. Very peaceful, looking forward to continuing to receive and continuing to allow. Thank you for sharing this blessing with everyone. Thank you, Stephanie. Well, thank you for your kind words. I feel them, and I openly allow and receive them. I recognize them, but you are the gift, you are the blessing, and I'm just helping you to remember that. And it's true for everyone. So all of our brothers and sisters. Miri shares, it was very powerful and healing. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Miri. Josh shares, thank you so much. Appreciate it, Stephen. Have a great rest of your day. And to you, Josh, and to everyone else, as always, I wish you continued blessings on your journey with Source Energy Medicine. Bye for now.